Same thing as last time, any and all thanks for this series should be presented towards Ghost, the Xenotier Patreon member who picked this anime out of all anime for me to cover. Legend he is! Putting what looks like actual writing into the book instead of just scribbles. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about her being swallowed up by whatever this place is. I struggle to get over how good looking these shots are. Even the views from within the village are stunning. Learning at almost the halfway stage of the season that superpowers are a thing in this world. This lady's still being in the anime. The story gets more interesting still, as seemingly someone she is pledged to is causing this, and yet here she is taking out the ghostly things that I'm guessing her boss created? Not gonna lie, I felt oddly proud of my boy saying this all of a sudden. He's really grown. I'm loving it. Also loving how these two are still in the anime. To me, that is the most excellent choice given their hilarious nature and voice acting. Suddenly being offered this other view of the city, suddenly and all of a sudden. The dynamic is tight, I think. It's so bright and bubbly and light and fluffy, and suddenly you see this, which is weird and dark and whatnot. How they hilariously cover for her and make out like it's not a superpower. That was incredibly sick. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a massive blast with some lovely looking effects to boot, as is expected from Princess Connect at this point. I mean, how can you not praise this studio for producing effects like that? Everyone goes on about UFO Table, and rightly so, but there's no way these guys have a bigger budget. It's cool. He only says one word, but they know what he means and what he's saying. Like basically, let's continue on. Don't give up now, and I do like that. See what I mean? Not only is that weird and a bit creepy looking, but it also looks really good. It's a good job done, I think. She really is just a beam of sunlight, really, isn't she? How come the effects look so good, though? The fact that this lady is still in the damn anime. I didn't even know what she did, but it was great. Touched too long to show, but they did a real good job of showing her ability of seemingly phasing through other people's weapons and then adding the extra impact from her own for the difference. This makes things real interesting because she's clearly an insanely powerful foe and one he's met on the battlefield before, but also he does seem to stand a chance against her normally, but perhaps not so early on during this whole process. By the by, this place is still stupidly good looking as well. Things get even more interesting because she's not some ghost or god. She used to adventure with him long ago, and the visuals of those adventures were beautiful looking too. Nice yell, but mainly those visuals. I don't know which is better, her human form or her suddenly putting her on the back foot. So many hers. of the most badass attacks in the whole thing, both in terms of its power level, how it looked, and also how it sounded. So take max wins for the effort. Nice to see her physically struggling against him, of all people, since he's been very weak so far. Naturally, having only just been put back into the world, let's go!
おそらくあれはシャドウに取り込まれている。自我が残っていれば、あるいは。
Her exit from the episode marks quite an intriguing moment for her as a character, given that she gives a giant clue as to how she can help her before leaving. Look at that magic use from a distance, so badass looking! Half the win is this attack and how good it looked and sounded, but the other half is a personal one. These really remind me of the initial foes in Mass Effect, the fast zombie type things. The fact that she actually got involved to help her in spite of her mission, which was holding her back all this time. I enjoyed the mixture of silliness and seriousness, that she sounded like initially she's giving in order to help her escape, but then is basically told, don't be silly by this action. Getting to this place mentally, after being sick for so long and feeling like you're a drag on everyone else around you. It might seem a little fondue-y, but in the end of the day, it's two sisters helping one another escape this place for better times, and of course, look so good too. The moment it's kicked out of her. That strike and how it looks might legit be one of my favourites in the whole show. Genuinely lovely how the music went all soft there as she smiled at her. Beautiful moment all around when you factor in win number 222. Not running on the spot to see your friend. An adorable ending. Although I'd enjoy seeing their quests, it was nice to see the visuals of them all the same. It's like a painting. A follow-up shot so good I had to show it first and then talk over it. Us getting actual confirmation 100% for the first time that that whole thing was caused by her, and of course, currently, she's working for her. It's a small thing, but tells us quite a lot there. So she's not just villain 1A or whatever, she's a queen, I'm guessing? Another view of the same area? Are you mad? So insanely fake sounding crying from the girls. That was really well done, actually. Oh my god, that was comedy freaking gold, that was. All to draw attention to the flyer. In a way, it's actually very sweet that our crew is now considered to be a very successful guild able to help others. Another personal win coming at you. This is what it was like back in the day playing World of Warcraft, especially if you were helping a noob to gain fast experience, but not be taken out by doing the dungeon. 2 wins here. Firstly, I enjoyed seeing a bit more of their home, or guild house, basically home really, from these shots. But also I equally enjoyed the music here. Oddly reminded me of a very old RPG I played years and years ago called Eternal Sonata. The reveal of what he had been working on as a reward for the girls. Oh, they're so excited by their fake quest. I liked how they did that there, where once you go a little off the beaten path, it stops being so organised, as seen by the placing down of the wooden planks. So good. I swear to God, this just has yet to get old for me, and her quietly rescuing him from the shadows back there. What I liked here is that in spite of the girls getting more confidence, we weren't expected to believe they're suddenly super strong now. Instead, they're in the forest clearing all the mobs. Itadakimasu! Some proper good looking grub right there. Stroke of absolute genius having it be the girls just saying mentor and then looking up and he's being carried away yet again. Real nice touch to show them actually putting the fire out. You see why it's my favourite attack in the whole series? It always looks so good and normally always comes with a scenery shot due to the size of it. Well, that was adorable. It's sweet that she was smart enough to figure out all the help they were getting and how things had not gone to the original plan, but is going to keep it to herself. Such an awesome look at the city. There's something so randomly funny about him doing this in his bedroom. This is not a drill, it's a beach episode, baby! Who'd have thought that she'd end up getting her own win for her swimwear? Hey, that's who! Ah, now that's something. So this is the reason she was sent to keep an eye on her. It turns out it's her armor that gives her the strength and speed and everything else. She's here from a few episodes ago and is even wearing her own different set of clothing. A most unexpected let's go. Exactly same win as the last one. Double unexpected. The food all looking good, but them all being together and eating it is just as good. So very many unexpected unexpecteds. Unexpected! Kurisu Mikase from Steins Gate. And also unexpected. That was actually really good, wasn't it? Another great example of the music just being pure awesome in the background, like it's no big deal. They even did this monster by hand. Thought it was win-worthy that it was included that her abilities don't all come from her armor. She's also just very strong and tough in general. Swimsuit blasting Phoenix fun. I'm always over on One Piece talking about fully hand-done crowds, and so I should absolutely do the same thing here. The whole swimming under the sea bit, for context it was given as a gift for a job well done that day, was nothing short of gorgeous looking. And then we were blessed with these visuals. Also though, between her lovely words and the beautiful sounding song, it made for one hell of an ending to an episode. Just the very calm and relaxing early morning images we're seeing from a wake up at their guild house. It's quite sad when you know that she's still essentially a spy for her master against all of them, and yet does look legit so happy in her day-to-day life with them, like here. Oh my goodness, this is why he's one of my favourite voice actors. Akami from Akame ga Kill and Aqua from Konosuba. Sometimes I think there are legit too many girls in this, you feel me? I'm gonna say the same thing to him as I did Araragi in the first Kizu movie. Bruh, just hurry up and resurrect her! The normal kind of unexpected. Whilst it was very sweet of him to swoop in and protect her, I was loving the whole her being overthrown because she's tiny and has no magic element after what we saw 2 wins back. Back-to-back wins. Firstly, I enjoyed seeing the growing animation. I thought it was done super smoothly, all things considered. But also, yay, she's growing back to normal size, and it's interesting because he's using, without knowing it I would presume, his special ability. It's a very rare case indeed that someone scores 2 wins for the same thing, but her being saved from the horrors of lolly life has to equal another one for me. I know she'll likely revert, but still. Normally that wouldn't score a win, especially since I just called it, but her utter frustration at not understanding why it was happening was amazing to me. That's a really nice touch. For context, last episode she said she couldn't swim, so here she's reading the swimming book the other 2 were using during a previous win. Her copying him doing that for the first time. Also, the first time we see someone's home life come crashing into a scene all of a sudden. Quite a wholesome but also melancholy scene, where it's clear that there's more to her than meets the eye too. Right now, my guess is she's a member of royalty, but we'll see. Such an insanely quick reaction to poorly made food. Colour me shocked. I thought she was messing around when she said she'd turn them into puddings. Animation's so good looking, I'm getting hungry for puds. Another one who really doesn't appreciate bugs in their food.
Bye bye.
Such a random but great ending. He's still my favourite in the whole show for his pure comedy. Animating this entire crowd walking by hand as her shadow creeps into the city for the first time. Don't tell me this is another 3 new female characters! Does a man dare to dream? They really did such an outstanding job of the comedy. For clarity, she didn't want her breakfast to get cold, but she just wanted to keep sleeping, and it escalated like this. It's a new view of the city. I I don't know which is better, the fact that he immediately ran in to help this guy versus the shadow, or that it had no effect and blasted him outside. Kawaii! And that right there has to equal max wins. I'm not sure if we know this girl or not, but the attack, oh my word, that was really something else. Had to be max wins, baby! She is new, and this was a shock. Plus another natch for how she looks. How they sometimes do the subs in this one is legendary. That super casual, who was that? It's one of my favourite jokes from him so far. 2 wins again, firstly for the unique as all hell looking sword resting up against the building there. Also the shock and surprise that she too is another sister of his. It's so over the top. The added touch of having boards now on her window after she crashed through it earlier. The CGI being so good, but also it's sad, because here she's brought her flowers and meanwhile she's doing some pretty evil looking dizzle. For clarity, she fired an arrow with a note which read, "You're too close to him," and she was gonna head off and ignore her. Might be becoming one of my favourite things in the whole anime. Legit, having this guy and his voice actor in the anime was a stroke of absolute brilliance. He's one of the top 10 things in the entire show. You gotta be kidding me with this anime! Once he sees that it's her from before. This anime has stupidly great looking attacks. You really got to appreciate the time and effort that clearly went into it.
Tadaima.
主様お一人で。こんな大変なことを。よくご無事で。
What a legend! They're all worried that he's gone missing, and to be fair, rightly so. But meanwhile, he went out and got what they needed. Bless his eternal heart.
あのシャドウ、今までと雰囲気が違った。私、このままでいいのかな?
It's good to see her start to really doubt what she's been asked to do for the first time after seeing everything today. That lovely facial reaction as she notes that they fixed her plushie. That was brilliant, I thought.
お父様、お母様。
I knew she was dealing with her own stuff, but I think I was spot on about her being royalty. Again, bit too long to get away with showing, but I enjoyed seeing how the palace was being not directly brought into it, but yeah, brought in. She wants to help the people, and she's great for it.
見せて。
The difficulty rank of the quests being revealed.
プリンセスストライク!
It's really at a stage where it's just going to get a win every time she uses it. Still my number one attack.
本当にありがとうございます。
What's so nice here is that she is clearly doing it for the people, but is also so happy to have them helping her to do it too. There's not a ton, but there are some really nicely done animated crowd shots in this city from time to time. Happy to see that these two didn't just disappear from the story after the last episode wrapped up. It's a small twist, but a nice one all the same, that she's actually clearly far more important to the wider story than you'd have thought she would be. Story taking quite the serious turn here for a moment as he witnesses this and perhaps prior people he lost in another life.
あら、ようやく剣士としての自覚が芽生えたな。
The first time he replies super seriously like this, and even I was shocked watching it.
はい、仲良く食べなさいよ。
Being nice to animals is always a win. The final boss, I'm guessing, of the season came around real quick, meaning it got huge real fast. Thrown with so much confidence, and that was the result. Nice to break the building tension a little though.
やすこさん、逃げてください。さあ、早く。
Very easy win here for the fact that the animation has been so good all the way across the series, up to and now including episode 11. I am so impressed by that fact. Had to cut it a little short there, but easily the best princess striker from the anime so far. So Max wins, please. Some top-notch environmental damage to boot. Super well done already, to be honest. Cutting the music was a stroke of genius, I think. Really gave it that old school JRPG serious type of vibe.
私はあんたを見捨てようとしたのに付き合いきれない。
Such a sweet moment here. Really feels like her character arc has come full circle here in terms of a resolution of sorts, or at least very close to it now.
回復魔法を。
How he basically needed no warm-up to this battle in order to get himself to this stage. That was great to see on its own, but it's also because he's clearly getting stronger. After what I just wrote, you best believe that this was a plot twist for me. I don't even know what's going on, but I'm absolutely loving it a dangerous amount.
クレープ屋の
そう、クレープ屋の店主。
She really is important to the story. How cool is that though? Super small character from episode 1, and meanwhile she's proper central to the wider story. I'm shocked.
ペコリーヌ様。
That's an extra win. I freaking knew it.
みんなから忘れ去られた人間なんです。父や母からも。
Suddenly she becomes an even greater character for me because she's so full of life and joy in spite of this happening to her and still wants to keep everyone safe in her kingdom. And it also explains why her friends and guild mean so much to her too, since everyone else has forgotten about her or had their memories altered, I'm guessing. Easily the best looking shot of the city by far. Wow.
このティアラはランドソルに伝わる王家の装備の一つ。
Palm from Hunter x Hunter. For context, she's the one in love with Nov originally, and then gone for a little bit, and then Nov again. The one that looks like the girl from the Ring movie. Getting a brief but fully animated montage of everything she got up to at first on her journey. Another view of the city. Was genuinely quite sad to see the palace guards attacking her because they don't know her now.
まだ修行が足りなかったでしょうか。 お父様、お母様。
ネズミは私がこの手で排除いたしますよ。
I'm actually giving this whole series of events max wins because A, I really didn't expect it from such a happy-go-lucky story to date, and B, for such a lovable character to have such a dark story.
大切な人たちを抱きしめていたのです。つながりが離れていかないように。
All of this makes so much more sense now. She's not just a huggy, lovely kind of gal. She was doing it for a very specific reason, bless her.
私は離れませんよ。
Don't care. That's totally worth its own win. Oh!
見覚えはあるかな？
Considering all the wins I've given this place during the first episode and onwards, this, as I'm sure you can guess, made for quite the shock to my system.
そんな状態でこの力を解放したら、君の存在自体にどんな影響を及ぼすかわからない。
Wow, everything is being wrapped up lore-wise so far that has been brought up this season, including why he suddenly got all weak after using his power the last time.
この記憶は
The reveal that she is pretty much the end-level boss in this season at least. She's the one we've not been able to fully see causing havoc in his prior lives all this time.
ここはまだ危険だ。一般市民は離れて。
They literally cannot stop adding new cuties!
団長、
友団員、何か分かったかい？
Saber from the Fate series. In her confusion, and very likely also her sense of guilt, she tries to tackle the foe alone, but not before understanding she couldn't do it, accepting her fate, but thankfully being rescued.
仲間は僕が守る。
Just hearing this painted a big old smile across my face. Rotating shot. Him suddenly appearing in the air like that for this huge attack was the stuff of legends. And of course they totally saved the best for last in terms of how sick looking this ability of his could end up looking. It felt legit so good to see them all lining up for the fight as kind of like equal partners for the first time. Feels as though the last win was super well timed, really. They all partnered up and gave it their all, and he got in his first proper attack in 13 episodes, easiest max wins of the anime.
このままペコ姉さんたちいなくなったら縁起でもないこと言ってんじゃないよ。ペコ姉さん無事だったんですね。
Considering what they were like right at the start, it's been weirdly awesome to see them love her and the crew so much. Her returning the hug for the first time makes for a nice win-worthy moment at the end. Also take one for going without the ED this episode to give us this extra long ending instead. And whilst I'm at it, it makes sense to add another one for the ending itself and how a lot of it was animated too, so it wasn't just a still montage with a song.
さあ、始めましょう。新しい冒険を。
And then 3 wins to end the video. Firstly, it was one more time seeing some tasty food. I mean, that egg looked amazing, I can't fib. Secondly, it's them all sharing a meal together one more time at the end of the season as well. And then a final one for the series as a whole, ending in that lovely and wholesome fashion, ready to head out onto another quest together. Big thanks once again to the legendary Zeno tier Patreon member Ghost. I'm really glad he picked this one that normally likely might not have won a vote, but also that he cared to share it all with you too. So let's hear it in the comments for Ghost. Thank you so much, mate, and I hope you enjoyed.